financial accounting, context of financial reporting. So this is what you're going to learn today. The first one is related with financial reporting, definition, identify, recognize. And then number 2 is user and stakeholder needs. And so this is for number 3 actually for your lesson plan is for the session 2. But I just insert it today. Kita masuk kat sini sebab bahagian ni banyak. So we are going to do theory part and also some calculation and preparing of the financial report. Yeah. So this is overview that you are going to learn for today. The first one, financial report. This is financial reporting. What you do, you need to, why financial reporting need to be produced? Because the existence of the 3 entity, which is the first one is sole trader, partnership, limited liability. So we are going to go to this one. And we have branches of accounting, financial reporting. Let's say part of that is bookkeeping. And the financial statement, meaning, purpose, and interrelationship. And then user for this, and for this financial statement. Yeah. So for this one, kita akan masuk main element for this. So this is bahagian sini yang akan lama. Okay, the business entity, ada 3 types of business entities. This business entity is not NGO. Dia adalah entity, dia punya attention to gain profit. Dia run because of making profit. So the first one is sole trader, partnership, and limited liability. So as for the sole trader and partnership, this is dia ada banyak similarity. And for limited liability, dia memang jauh beza daripada dua ni. So sole trader, as you look at the word is sole, means that seorang sajalah, the owner is one, and partnership is 2 or more people. So the aim for this entity is to make profit. As for limited liability, owner dia banyak, but owner dia is the come from the shareholder, person that buy share for the business is named that shareholder. Shareholder is the owner of the limited liability company. Okay, and then what is the important thing about this entity is about the legal entity dia. Dia punya dari segi law, dia punya separate legal entity dia. Itu yang penting. As for partnership dengan sole trader, dia punya separate legal entity dia tak ada. Maksudnya consider that the business and the owner is considered one. So what happen when the company goes to liquidation? So all the debt that belong to the company, the owner must responsible. Means that if the debt cannot be covered by the entity, the owner must pay it using their own money. This also means that this entity is very risky. As for limited liability company, this company has a separate legal entity. It means that dia lagi selamat, because whatever hutang, any debts that the company owe to the creditors, so bila berlaku liquidation, it can only claim up to the amount that the business owe. Let's say that the debt is 1 million, but the company, after they paid, after calculation, it has only 800,000. So the business only cover for 800,000. So the 200,000 dia tak akan ambil daripada shareholder. So means that limited liability company is more secure ya. Tapi tapi dia subject to statutory regulation. Maksudnya dia tak boleh suka-suka nak run business ikut suka dia ya. Must follow the accounting standard ataupun undang-undang ya. Dari segi satu, who runs for this business untuk limited liability company, board of director run the business. Dia appoint dalam AGM ya, annual general meeting. As for sole trader partnership, owner dia lah run ya. As for partnership, kadang-kadang dia ada sleeping partner ya. Ada yang run, ada yang sleeping partner, just share the capital ya. So this is a business entity. And this is advantages as for the sole trader and partnership. As for the sole trader, of course, the cost of established for this entity is quite low because dia tak banyak kerja lah, kertas kerja tak banyak. As for partnership compared to the sole trader, lebih sikit lah sebab dia ada kena buat agreement ya, partnership agreement. As for limited liability, of course dia banyak procedure to follow, so cost dia lagi banyak lah ya. Okay, untuk sole trader, since dia lah seorang, dia lah owner, dia lah run the business ya. Jadi profit, all the profit dia punya, dia lah yang nak buat apa keputusan pun dia, so dia lagi flexible ya. Sebab dia seorang ya, dia suka dia lah, dia tak perlulah nak follow the regulation ke apa, ikut dia. As for partnership pula ya, apa kelebihan partnership daripada sole trader in term of the capital ya, sebab di sini kita ada ramai owner, so the owner will raise more capital. So dia punya sharing of risk of loss pun dua orang lah tanggung, dua atau lebih orang tanggung. Kalau yang ni dia seorang-seorang lah tanggung ya. So yang ni ya, untuk sole trader dengan partnership ya, tax dia bukan pada company ya, taxnya dia kena pada partner ya. Tax tu macam partnership dia bagi pada partner, sebab tax ni dia bagi pada bukan pada company ya, dia bagi kepada tuan dia, sebab business dia dengan tuan adalah dikira satu ya dari segi undang-undang ya kat sini. Tapi bagi limited liability, kita lagi limited liability company, dia limited ya, limited liability. Jadi maksudnya wang yang dilaburkan, investment is more secure. So lagi senang dia nak fund, nak tambah capital, just issue more share. So dari segi continuity dia pula, salah kalau salah seorang shareholder mati, dia masih still boleh run the business ya, sebab yang run tu lah board of director kan, sebab dia lain ya. So the tax pula dia kena pada tax company ya. Kadang-kadang tax company lebih rendah ya, tapi kat Malaysia tax untuk company tinggi ya. And then it is relatively easy to transfer share from one owner to another owner ya. So share ni memang senang nak transfer ya, jual saja kalau dia tak nak jadi owner ya. So bagi partnership inilah ya, dari segi share dia kurang ya. Jadi segi disadvantages dia, untuk sole trader partnership, since dia tak ada separate legal entity, maksud dia memang dari segi risiko dia tinggi because all of that ya. Bukan the company yang kena cover, but dia pun owner pun kena tanggung ya. Macam owner untuk sole trader kat sini dia kata since capital dia less, kemungkinan dia punya bank boleh jadi overdraft ya, dia terlebih pakai ya. And then sebab dia seorang-seorang, kena buat kerja banyak, dia lah seorang segalanya. And then in term of continuity, kalau mati je dia punya owner, sole trader, so company dia tak boleh jalan ya. Dan kalau sakit ke ya, sama juga dengan partnership ya, lebih kurang je dengan sole trader, dia punya disadvantages ya. Cuma ada tambahan kat sini ya, dari segi decision making slow ya, sebab ada 2 orang, so kadang-kadang nak buat keputusan lebih daripada 1 orang, macam-macam hal lah, orang ni cakap tu, orang tu cakap ni ya. So dari segi decision making slow. Okay, satu lagi, bukan saja kalau seseorang mati, partner mati, dia punya bisnes tak boleh jalan, tapi juga ada kalau tiba-tiba one of the partner dia keluar daripada partnership tu, so secara automatik partnership itu pun bubar ya, dia kena buat partnership yang baru ya. So as for limited liability company, disadvantage of course because dia subject to the regulation, so dia kena publish annual financial statement ya, kena. Setahun sekali dia kena siapkan financial statement, so dia kena produce and ini kena filekan ya. Kena filekan ya, wajib. Kemudian financial statement dia kena audit ya dengan external auditor. And share, even though the share is easy to be transferred, but it is regulated by law, tak boleh suka-suka ya. So the main point here that limited liability have separate legal entity rather than a sole trader and partnership. Okay, for business entity, semua okay? Very clear on that? Okay, now we go to another part. Financial reporting ya. So the terminology, what is financial reporting? It's a way of recording, analyzing and summarize data. Data it comprise bookkeeping, accounting and reporting ya. So bookkeeping is a way of recording ya. Means that this is involved of the routine work ya. So everything that involve the business transaction, all the document must be analyzed ya. Kita analyze mana nak kena record, mana kita guna sebagai internal control for the business. Kemudian after the record, the post tu nanti dia buat analyzing ya. Ada post nanti dia buat trial balance, ada trial balance dia summarize data kepada dalam trial balance, and then dia buat apa? Adjustment. In this one kat sini bila dah nak prepare ya, and then baru dia prepare financial statement. Preparing financial statement is jatuh dekat sini ya, accounting, and then reporting. Yang ketiga, summarize data ni and then reporting lah, because everything in business transaction, sebanyak-banyak business transaction tu kita hanya report dalam satu muka surat saja ya. So we summarize that it. Okay, what is bookkeeping? So classification and recording of actual transaction in monetary term means that whatever the record for this one is the actual transaction. I mean that's everything that has already happened, and the transaction is in monetary term. As for the macam inventory kan, kalau kita terima barang bersama dengan dia punya good dispatch note tu ya, kadang-kadang dia ada dia sebut pakai description of the inventory ya. This one kita record sebagai internal control. As for the bookkeeping, dia tak record yang good dispatch note, dia akan record yang invoice yang berkaitan dengan monetary. Okay, accounting is preparation of financial statement showing the result of transaction and financial position in accordance with the established accounting concept and principle. So what is accounting is after bookkeeping. Apa yang telah direkod, and the record ni bukan record suka-suka ya. Dia mesti follow accounting concept and principle ya. And yang ni accounting ni selepas bookkeeping, maksudnya selepas siap semua benda ni, so dia akan prepare financial statement ya. Lepas siap financial statement, baru bahagian reporting, iaitu presentation of financial statement along with disclosure of transaction and event in accordance with financial reporting framework. So this one, bila reporting, dia mesti comply dengan qualitative characteristic ya, dia punya standard dalam financial reporting framework ya. So apa yang perlu report, dia kena report, dia kena present, mesti dia masukkan dalam transaction disclosure of note ya kat sini ya. So this is terminology you need to know. Kenapa ni? Okay, this is bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is related with the routine work. So they collect, record all the daily business transaction. Lepas tu they collect, summarize, record in monthly basis. This is they do the posting. At the end of the month, all the transaction is posted to the transaction are posted to the ledger and summarize in trial balance. So make adjustment dekat sini ya. Kalau ada error dalam record tu, kena apa yang dia tak perlu buat, apa yang adjustment tak buat, dia kena buat kat sini ya. And then they produce another adjustment trial balance, and then barulah dia buat prepare for the financial statement ya. As for the branches of accounting, sebenarnya banyak Untuk you punya syllabus, you all punya syllabus, we only say for this one. Sebenarnya ada auditing, tax semua kan, tapi kita ambil ini ya. Financial accounting dengan management accounting ya. So the difference that financial accounting is concerned with the production of financial statement for external users. So this one is for external users. And financial accounting is more record on the historical thing, means that whatever has been happened, this is record in financial accounting lah. And then yang dia record ni lah tanggungjawab ya, tanggungjawab directors ya. So director subject ya, dia kena dari segi undang-undang dia kena produce ya financial statement, and then dia kena pastikan ya apa yang dah dilakukan dengan fund yang telah dilaburkan oleh shareholder ya. As management accounting is more for the internal use ya. This is more for management ya, management part to run this business ya. So the data from the report, from financial report, they use untuk formulating strategy, decision making, plan, apa-apa jugalah yang dia nak buat ya untuk run the business. Ini kita panggil management accounting. Okay, clear? Boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh ya? Okay, now kita pergi yang ni. This part is very important. Apa dia tak nak pergi? Okay. Okay, financial statement. What is financial statement? A financial statement is any report summarizing the financial condition or financial result of a business on a date for any period. Maksudnya report ya berkaitan dengan financial condition atau financial result business tu. Kalau financial condition maksudnya pada tarikh tu lah kalau dia financial result untuk period, accounting period tu ya. So this is what the company need to produce according to law ya. So the company need to produce statement of financial position, or previously we call that balance sheet. And then statement of profit or loss. Sebenarnya ini statement ini kita asing ya, tapi biasanya company dia akan gabung sekali. Statement of profit or loss ataupun statement of other comprehensive income atau asing sekali. Statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flow, accounting policy and explanatory notes. So number 1 and 2 we are going to do in this semester, but 3, 4 and 5 this is you are going to learn in semester 2 ya. So what is the statement of financial position? This is a list, all list asset owned and all liability owed by the businesses at a particular date. Means that whatever being reported in financial position is all about assets, liability and equity. Itu yang dia nak tunjukkan ya, kedudukan ni. And then the statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. So other comprehensive income is done by the company, limited liability company. This is you will learn in semester 2 also. What we are going to focus is statement of profit and loss. A record of income generated, expenditure incurred over a given period. So this one for statement of financial position at that date, pada tarikh itu. Tapi untuk statement of profit loss, ada nak laporkan kedudukan revenue and expenses ataupun income generated pada tahun keuangan tersebut dan tempoh setahun itu itu adalah statement profit or loss. Ada comprehensive income lain mana dia. And then statement of changes in equity is disambungan daripada statement of financial position. Dalam statement of financial position dia ada part equity, right? So it's show about the assets, liability and equity. And equity will be elaborate more in this statement. Statement of changes in equity. It shows that the changes in equity over a period because of what? Nanti dia tunjuk dekat situ. So detail you will learn in semester 2. So as for statement of cash flow, it will record about the cash flow. Means that the cash in cash in dengan cash out So under this report, the cash that in out is classified under 3 categories. One is under operating, investing and financing activities. So this one also you will learn more in semester 2. And this is notes to the account. Notes to the account is the notes that will elaborate more on this 4 statement. This 4 statement usually present very brief mungkin dalam satu muka surat saja. But in detail of this statement it will show in this note. So this note you will learn more in semester 2. Dapat? Clear? Okay. Now, okay, tadi tu very brief, nanti saya akan masuk lebih detail about tu financial statement. Now, the user of financial statement, kenapa nak susah-susah nak buat financial statement? Sebab adalah user perlukannya ni statement ni, sebab they need to do decision making Kenapa sebab dia kena buat keputusan, bukan berpandukan daripada maklumat daripada financial statement ni So for the financial statement, we have 2 types of user. One is internal. Aku tak nampak saya punya ni. Internal. Another is external. So internal is more in management part because they are going to run the business. So all the information they get is in order to direct the business. So whether they want to do planning, controlling ataupun decision making, so they use information dari sini. So information dia lagi detail Kalau dia nak buat purchasing of the merchandise katakan, so maklumat dia akan detail apa jenis dia, supplier apa, berapa amount terkini, macam tu lah. Tapi kalau financial statement dia tak ambil kira tu Kita nak tahu kedudukan company as a whole So external user are potential investor, government and yang luar-luar lah So yang ni dia perlukan maklumat ni because of their own reason Maksudnya apa dia nak buat tu untuk kepentingan peribadi dia So this is the user of the financial statement. One is investor. When it say investor means that this is a shareholder of the company. Maksudnya yang telah melabur kepada company. Kenapa dia perlukan maklumat ni? Because they want to make decision whether to hold atau to sell the share. Kalau harga tinggi dia nak jual ke ataupun dia nak kekalkan share tu. Another one dia nak tahu what is the return means that what the return that they're going to get for the investment. And then for the supplier ni salah ni Supplier ni salah ni lebih kepada untuk international financial institution Okay, supplier is more for to know about the entity, whether the entity boleh tak bayar hutang. Because supplier, sama ada supplier boleh supply atau give a facility, credit facility Kalau dia nak bagi credit facility, maksudnya dia jual secara hutang kepada entity, dia must make sure that that entity is able to pay for the debt. That's what they need. They need to know whether the company is strong enough untuk diberi credit facility of debt. Ya, ini untuk supaya management saya dah cakap tadi more on the directing the company ya. Jadi dia perlu maklumat tu. Untuk customer of course untuk continuous of the supply of the goods service. Jadi dia nak tengok customer ni mestilah nak pergi syarikat yang betul. Syarikat yang betul ukur ya nak beli barang sebab dia macam kalau rosak kan kita nak hantar balik. Okay, kemudian lagi satu dia nak tengok juga kalau company tu tak kuat kan dia punya produk tak bagus kan. That's why kita tengok juga Okay, employee sebenarnya employee tak penting sangat Dia bukan ada penting sangat pasal maklumat ni Okay, tapi employee more dia nak tahu boleh tak dia nak naikkan dia punya gaji atau bonus boleh dapat banyak tak. Dia more macam tu bukan nak directing of the company And then financial institution maksudnya macam bank atau apa-apa tujuan dia kalau dia bagi loan this company able or not to pay the loan and then bersama dengan interest. Okay. And then ini tak kisah sangat public, general public ni contribution to economy ini tak payah sangat sebab soalan tak cover sangat untuk ni tak tanya sangat ini Kemudian government, of course government is very important because for the tax assessment dia perlu untuk tax assessment, customer 2 kali ulang. Okay, potential investment is the people outside the entity, dia belum lagi jadi shareholder, dia baru nak melabur Jadi they want to know whether the company is bagus, stable or not. Kalau dia nak buat investment, boleh dapat kelangan atau tidak. So dia punya tujuan tu whether nak melabur atau tidak. Environmental group ni tak berapa penting sangat dan soalan tanya-tanya. So tak payah ambil tahu sangat Okay, this is a user of information needs. Okay. Clear or not? Yeah. Oh, habis. Okay, semua masih ada. Okay, ngantuk tak? Laju ke?
Tak.
Okay, kita ambil first part. So, semua okay? Dapat tak answer terang?
Dapat.
Agak dapat. So, please answer this question first. Sebelum kita pergi pada part B So, siapa dapat markah tinggi nanti saya akan kumpulkan markah kelas ni. Kelas engagement ni. Untuk 1 bulan, siapa dapat markah tertinggi nanti saya akan hantar hadiah saya post kat rumah kamu tau. Sebulan sekali saya akan kira semua markah Okay, saya bagi soalan. Soalan ni 15 markah. 1 markah kamu kena jawab dalam 1 minit. 1.2 minit. So, kamu kali lah berapa minit kamu kena siapkan tu. 15 markah darab dengan 1.2. Itulah masa kamu kena jawab. Okay, this one. Saya ambil soalan dulu Okay, saya masuk dalam ruangan chat. Dan saya masuk juga pada Google kamu punya ni group Boleh jawab sekarang. So kamu persiapkan dalam 18 minit actually. 3.10. Ketiga kurang cerita kena siap. Cek jawapan je. Oh, dah ada yang tak jawapan 5. Lagi 18 Seorang lagi kan tak jawab. Tak ada? 7. Tadi 39. Okey, semua dah jawab ya. Okey, 3 orang ya di kelas kamu dapat markah penuh ya. Huda, Nasria, T3, Aini, Anissa, Nurul, Nabila ya. Ini semua dapat markah penuh ya. So 64, 63 ya. So kita bincang this one. Senang ya soalan? Senang susah?
Sedang-sedang.
Sedang-sedang. Ray Unicorn, boleh on tak kamera je, saya nak tengok siapa Ray ni. Nanti tolong tukar nama boleh Ray? Right, RY Unicorn, siapa ni?
Saya Balkis daripada Team Pai.
Balkis, nanti tolong tukar nama ya.
Dah tukar madam, dia loading.
Oh, floating. Pada tengok nak lepas ni kot. Okay ya. Okay, kita bincang jawapan tadi ya. Sekejap, saya tukar dulu ni. Okay, semua nampak ni ya, ni soalan yang tadi. So, kita pergi pada jawapan. Response. So, average is 10 daripada 15. Okay, median pun 15, range 3, 15 ya. So, untuk kamu paling rendah bukan 3 ya, kelas ni. Taburan dia maksudnya ramai yang dapat ke arah markah tinggi ya. Sama juga ya. Ini soalan yang susah ya. Semua nampak tak ya yang saya paparkan?
Nampak.
So soalan yang which of the following is more useful for manager? So this one is ada 4 saja yang dapat betul ya daripada 77 ya. Maksud soalan ni agak susah lah. Okay, now kita go through soalan. Kita ambil 65 tadi ya. Shazana ke siapa tu? 63. Okay, kita tengok jawapan Nurul Nabila. Okay, the first one, question number 1, the financial reporting is only carried out by large quoted company. So this is incorrect ya, because bukan syarikat besar saja yang kena buat financial reporting ya. Syarikat kecil pun kena juga ya. Ini mark the following statement as true or false. Shareholder receive annual accounts prepared in accordance with legal and professional requirement. Ya, dia adalah external user ya. So dia berhak ya untuk dapat annual report ya untuk financial company ya. And then the accounts of limited liability companies are sometimes filed with the registrar of the company. So this is false. Yeah? The words that comes to false is sometimes filed. Yeah? Bukan sometimes. This one memang kena filekan. Kalau tak filekan akan disaman salah dari segi undang-undang. And then employees receive the company accounts and employee report. Tak, buat apa employee nak buat benda ni ya? Tak ada kepentingan sangat ya, tak ada kepentingan ya.
Madam.
Ya.
Madam.
Yes,
Registrar of companies tu apa?
Registrar company dia uruskan hal-hal untuk company lah. Dia ada satu syarikat untuk dia buka company. SKM kan. Dia ada satu lagi, memang dia uruskan benda ni. Registrar of the company untuk limited liability. So apa-apa berkaitan dengan company tu dia yang akan handle. Kat Malaysia ni apa? SKM tu kan? Syarikat tu. Okay. Boleh? Memang
Boleh.
Satu agensi yang uruskan untuk company ni ya. Okay, employee always receive, this one tak ya, false ya. Tax authority, this is correct ya, sebab memang dia perlu ya untuk tax assessment. Bank memang dia perlukan ya, selain daripada information, dia kena ada maklumat tambahan ya. Sebab kalau dia nak buat loan, katakan dia nak buat projek, mesti dia kena bagi kertas kerja mengenai projek tersebut. This is true ya. This one is which of the following is most useful for manager? Dia is management ya. So bila management dia nak run a business, jadi apa yang dia kena tahu? Dia kena buat prediction untuk yang akan datang. Jadi bila prediction dia berkaitan dengan budget. Bank statement nak buat apa ya? Ini bank yang akan bagi dia nak buat apa ya? Tak perlu ya. And then tax, dia tak perlu, this one is government yang perlu ya. Sebab dia tak, macam tax ni dia nak buat ya. Dia nak buat apa, decision making tak apa, tak ada kan. Bank statement ni tak ya. Bank statement ni cuma nak tahu keuangan sahaja ya. Yang penting dia nak report daripada bank statement ni ya. Financial statement for last financial year, this is more for the external user ya. So the answer is budget for the coming financial year. So dia nak run business ya. Okay, this one kalau tengok soalan ni kita tengok dia run by alpha, beta and gamma. So this is partnership ya. And this one is the answer is 3 only because ya, the partner individually exposure to debt is limited. Tak ya. So tak ada kena-mengena pun ya. Exposure to debt maksudnya dia terdedah kepada hutang. Maksudnya bukan limited ya. Bila kita nak terdedah pada hutang, macam-macam cara boleh jadi hutang. Beli barang boleh jadi hutang, pinjam loan boleh jadi hutang. Apa lagi? Kena saman boleh jadi hutang ya. So banyak cara ya. It's not limited ya. Exposure to the debt is not limited ya. Banyak cara. Financial statement for the partnership by law must be produced and made public. Ya, salah. This is only apply to the company, limited liability company. A partnership is not, yes, this is not a separate legal entity from the partner is themselves. Yeah? So the answer is 3 only. And then number yang ini pula ya. Which are the following are characteristics of a limited liability company? Ya, satu betul dia ada separate legal entity. Shareholder are personally liable. This is wrong because limited liability company is limited ya. Has separate legal entity, so dia tak shareholder dia tak personally liable for the debt of the company. And then pay dividend, yes, memang dia dapat ya. It pays dividend or profit to shareholder of the company. So the answer is 1 and 3 ya. Okay, so 3 dari kamu jawab betul ya. Ada soalan nak tanya? Semua clear yang this one?
Clear.
Yeah, okay, good. So now, kalau semua okay, I'm going to, saya nak pergi kepada part 2. Part 2 ya. So, we go to the part 2. Yang ni panjang sikit ya. Okay, nampak tak? Saya tunjuk part B.
Nampak.
Nampak ya? Semua nampak ya? Okay, this is part B ya, which is the context of purpose of financial reporting. So now we are going to go to the main elements of financial report. So as I mentioned before, financial statement is any report summarizing the financial condition or financial result of business of any date or for any period. So 5 dekat sini ya yang kena produce, but I'm going to focus on A and B. This is what you are going to learn in this semester, which is statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss. Ada comprehensive income, ini untuk company. So kita sampai statement of profit or loss sahaja untuk this semester. Sebab yang ada comprehensive income, ini berkaitan dengan revaluation of the non-current asset. This is unrealized profit ya. Sebab profit ini tidak hasil dari jualan ya, dia hasil daripada penyelaian. So we call it is unrealized profit. Nanti kita belajar kemudian ya. Okay, kita mula dengan statement of financial position. So this format, kita akan ikut format ni lah ya. Format ni patutnya 3 kolom lah. Sebab di sini pun macam tak detail lagi ya. Okay, first for the statement of financial position, name of the company kena buat kat atas ni. A name of the company, kemudian tajuk statement ini. So this is statement of financial position. This is at that date means that at bila tarikh dia tutup account. Yang ni dia tutup account pada 31st December 2008. Yeah. So this statement is divided into two. Dia bagi pada dua. Sebab apa saya kata lagi divide? You look at here. This X here is the total of the non-current asset dengan non-current asset is here. So nampak di garis dua ni. So it means that this is one part. Another part is the total of capital add with the non-current liability and current liability. So you have figure this one. Nampak garis? So this amount should be similar. It means that financial statement of financial position comply dengan accounting equation which is that this is asset equals dengan equity plus liability. Means that kalau asset dia 10,000, jadi mesti dia dapat daripada equity, jumlah kedua itu mestilah 10,000 juga. This is the meaning of the statement of financial position. Dia comply dengan accounting equation. So, apa yang dia nak tunjuk dalam statement of financial position ni? Dia akan tunjuk assets, liability dengan equity. So, this is they want to show about the condition of the company. Dia punya assets, liability, assets, equity dengan liability. Nak show this one. And the format mesti follow accounting equation which is asset equals liability plus equity. Ini format ini yang you akan guna untuk financial accounting untuk ni. Untuk SPM kamu mula dengan asset, kemudian mula dengan current liability kan, in order to get the working capital, right? Betul tak?
Yes.
Betul.
Jangan pakai lagi format tu, pakai format ni ya. Pakai format ni. Okay. So, bila ada banyak non-current asset ni, non-current asset ni maksudnya ini tak lengkap sebenarnya. Sebenarnya non-current asset ni kita ada land and building, mesti bawah dia kita kena less accumulated depreciation jadi kita buka lagi satu kolom dekat sini kat kolom ni maksud dia akan ada kolom 3, 1, 2, 3. Ni kena take note so esok kita akan buat preparing of this statement Okay, yang pertama ni, kolom pertama you kena letak land and building, the cost dia, betul tolak dengan accumulated depreciation. Amount yang dah tolak tu pergi pada kolom kedua, this one, and then followed sama dengan plant and machinery. Kolom yang pertama tolak dengan less accumulated depreciation untuk plant and machinery. So letak figure kat sini, sama juga Fisher. So kita ada 3 amount yang ketiga ini adalah carry amount bagi this non-current asset. So untuk kolom yang ketiga ini adalah total bagi carry amount bagi this land, plant and fixtures Jadi maksud carry amount ni maksudnya cost yang dah tolak accumulated depreciation. So this is total amount of the non-current asset, the carry amount of the non-current asset. Okay. And then for the current asset, this is kita akan mula dengan inventory. Yang untuk current asset mesti mula dengan yang paling liquid. So yang paling liquid adalah inventory Inventory paling cepat dapat duit jual. So inventory, trade receivable, jangan campur Trade receivable, ini dia campur trade receivable, betul kalau ada receivable, tambah letak kat bawah ni So receivable ni orang yang berhutang kepada company Dia ada 2, trade receivable maksudnya receivable yang incur cost because of the purchase ataupun selling of the merchandise. Ada receivable biasanya berkaitan dengan macam revenue, ada revenue contohnya kalau company has a space building space disewakan kepada kepada orang lain daripada dia punya tenant dia ya. So the tenant bila dia tak bayar hutang, tak bayar harga sewa bulan tu, so dia become jadi receivable. Kita panggil rent receivable. That one is ada receivable. So letak dekat bawah ni ya. And then last sekali mestilah cash at hand. Sebelum ni kita ada investment ya. Dekat sini investment kalau the short term investment dia akan duduk sini ya. Kalau long term investment dia duduk kat bawah ni ya. Lepas you dapat dekat sini, figure kat sini ya. Letak kat ujung ni. Okay. Okay, then total out yang kat sini you dapat figure dekat sini. And then for the capital this is ada dah lengkap. Saya tak mau ni ya. Sebab this is sole trader, kita tunjuk very detail. Okay, for capital nanti kita start dengan, tolong take note ya this one. Capital kita start dengan opening capital. And then kalau ada untung ya, profit kita akan tambah. So profit for that year. Kalau loss kita tolak lah ya. And then a drawing, kalau ada drawing kita tolak. And then kalau tahun tu owner ada introduce lagi capital, so kita tambah. So kita buatkan operasi tambah tolak. So last kali kita akan dapat closing capital. So this one capital ni kita buat equity ya. Equity ni kita kena buat lebih detail ya nanti. Esok saya akan tunjuk ya. And then non-current liability, contoh loan, notes payable, this is all the long term ya, ataupun debenture, mortgage ya, dan lain-lain ya. Ini yang semua ya, yang pembayarannya lebih daripada 12 bulan. It falls under non-current liability, just letak dekat sini ya. Amount sini, kalau banyak letaklah sini, kita total letak sini. And current liability kena pecah juga ya, trade payable, hasil dia supply barang yang untuk dijual. Ada payable ni macam beli non-current asset, secara hutang, so become to ada payable, ataupun expenses yang tak bayar lagi. Expenses tak bayar, contohnya adalah utility bills ya. Utilities, biasanya kita guna this month, bill akan dapat next month. So dia jadi hutang ya. So that one we call that, dia ada dua nama. Utility accrued utility expense, ataupun nama dia adalah utilities payable. Dua perkataan untuk yang ni. Okay, and then overdraft. Overdraft is come from bank, actually bank account. Tapi bila company terlebih pakai, it has a negative balance, so it become bank overdraft. So lastly, you add together this part, you get this amount, and this amount should be similar with this amount. Means that total asset equals equity plus liability. Okay? Clear tak?
Clear.
Clear ya? So this one is account yang kita dah groupkan ya. Kalau macam vehicle ada non-current asset, tapi vehicle ni dia terdiri dari kereta, lori ya. Kita tak ada letak dalam ledger kereta, lori, no. Kita letak satu kumpulan dia vehicle. Dia detail nanti dia kita masuk dalam internal control, dalam assets register, baru dia detail lori ada, kereta ada, baru dia detail ya. Tapi dalam ledger kita just dah benda yang kita dah group together ya. Kat sini ya. Sama juga trade receivable ni ya. Trade receivable kat sini pun yang detail dia akan pergi pada receivable ledger ya. Okay, accounts yang fall bawah ni ya, account ni maksudnya ni account lah, nama account dia. Nama account land and building, plant and machinery, inventory ni nama account dia. Ni cash, drawing, semua nama account. Account yang appear bawah financial position, ini kita panggil dia adalah real account ya. Real account, maksudnya account ini, the balance for this year kita akan carry forward. Maksudnya this balance dia akan berterusan bawa. Okay. Kita panggil real account ya. Okay, untuk land and building kita tolak tadi apa? Accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation adalah kontra account bagi non-current asset sebab dia mengurangkan harga land and non-current asset. So contract account ada untuk land, untuk non-current asset iaitu depreciation, cumulative depreciation, and for the trade receivable, contract account dia adalah allowance for receivable. Ni kita akan belajar kemudian. And then for the sales, contract account dia adalah sales return ataupun inward return, kita panggil inward return. As for the purchases, dia punya contract account dia adalah return outward ataupun purchase return, ya. Itu dah masuk ke profit and loss, kita pergi sini dulu. Dua ya, bagi contract account, bagi financial position ada dua ya, ada accumulated depreciation dengan allowance for receivable. Ini kita akan belajar kemudian. Ini pun just belajar, saya sebut saja, you will learn detail later on ya. Okay, this is what is financial position. Actually I already, saya dah terangkan tadi ya. Semua ni terpecah pada dua ya, semua saya dah terang ya. At particular date tadi ya, maksudnya. Ni ya, ditunjuk kat sini. Semua saya dah terangkan kat sini ya. Okay, ada soalan tak? Whatever yang muncul kat sini adalah account ya. Account dia ya. Okay, semua clear untuk statement of financial position? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go pada now we go in detail what is assets and liability ya. Okay, okay, assets and liability maksudnya apa ya? Business O dengan O ya. Means that asset is whatever business own. Dia punya lah. And then liabilities apa yang maksudnya yang hutang dia kena bayar pada tarikh tersebut ya. So this is a term, general term. Assets are in term belonging to a business and used in running of the business. So dia ada classify into current dengan non-current asset ya. So tujuan assets ni adalah untuk run the business ya. Apa juga yang business punya ya. Liability pula, what is the money being owed by the business to outsider. Contoh dia supplier ya. This is liability ya. Tapi ada juga hutang business kepada tuan. Maksudnya dia punya owner. Itu hutang juga ya. Sebab apa hutang? Sebab nanti dia kena bagi return in term of the profit. So that one kita tak panggil liability ya. Hutang kepada owner kita panggil equity. Okay? And then meaning according to International Accounting Standard Board Conceptual Framework, this is what been written in standard dalam accounting standard. This is an asset is a present economic resource controlled by entity as a result of past event. An economic resource is a right that has the potential to produce economic benefit. Means that asset is whatever ya, economic resources. Macam mana dia dapat daripada past event? Past event ni maybe dia beli ataupun kalau macam kereta, owner punya dia masukkan dalam business. Means that dia transfer sebagai capital of the company ya. Jadi bila dia transfer ataupun dia dah beli barangan tersebut, so it has control. Why the company has control? Because untuk macam non-current asset dia dah ada title pada non-current asset tersebut. Title maksudnya dia ada nama title tu dia punya. So dia ada control ya. So dia gunakan this economic resources ni yang ada ni dia gunakan untuk run the business and get economic benefits. Economic benefits ni macam profit lah. Dia akan dapat profit ataupun dia dapat cash balik. That one is economic benefits ya. So this is perkataan ni kena ingat ya. Sebab ni keluar dalam exam ya. Jawapan dia ayat dia sebiji ya. Okay, the definition of asset is set up in by essentially the ability to access resources. It may be physical. Okay, ini bagi asset physical, kalau kita nampak physical, cash, bank. And a right to receive from physical asset. This is a receivable, a right to receive. Contoh trade receivable. Bukan trade receivable ni orang yang berhutang kan. Orang yang berhutang bukan orang berhutang tu, amount yang dia berhutang tu. Sebab apa? the company will get that amount from that person. Yeah? So the right to receive from the physical asset. Okay. And this one, yeah. And then for the asset, it divide into two. One is non-current asset, another one is current asset. As for the non-current asset, this is any tangible or intangible asset acquired on long-term basis to be used in providing service to the business. Means that the asset that be bought is for the use of business on the order to get profit, ya. Bukan untuk dijual. Not held for resale in the normal course of trading. As for the current asset which are expected to realize, means that this asset can be converted into cash dalam masa terdekat in the business normal trading. So macam mana dia susun tadi saya cakap ya, dia susun pada yang paling liquid ya. Jadi kita susun dia bagi current asset, kita mula dengan inventory ya. Ini contoh-contoh current asset. Inventory, receivable, cash, short-term investment, prepaid expenses. What is prepaid expenses? Maksudnya expenses yang kita bayar dulu ya. Bila kita bayar dulu, means that itu menjadi aset kepada company. Sebab at the end dia akan dapat ya servis tu nanti ada hutang orang. Maksudnya ada hutang servis kat sini ya. Company dia ada hak untuk dapat servis tersebut. So this is become asset ya. Okay, untuk yang non-current asset, contoh dia land and building, motor vehicle, plant and machinery, furniture, fixture and fitting, equipment. Fixture and fitting ni yang benda-benda yang contoh yang almari yang dia lekat ya, dia dah lekat kan. Kalau macam office tu kan dia ada partition, itu adalah fixture and fitting, ataupun aircon, itu what we call that fixture and fitting. Equipment, long term investment ya. Long term investment fall under non-current asset. As for the current asset is short term investment. Okay, clear that this one? Okay, as liability pula, a liability is present obligation. This is according to accounting standard definition. Yeah? A liability is a present obligation of the entity to transfer economic resources as a result of past events. This is a unit to ingat ya, remember for this definition. An obligation is a duty of responsibility the entity has no practical ability to avoid. Means that obligation ni dia dapat sebab mungkin dia beli barang ataupun dia buat loan ya, past event ya. So this obligation dia tak boleh nak elak, kena bayar. This is liability. So same as asset, liability also can be categorized to non-current liability and current liability. What is non-current liability? So it based on the payment mode. If the payment is more than 12 months, this is non-current liability. As the current liability, if the payment mode is less than 12 months and below, this is current liability. So this example for the non-current liability loan. This is when kalau ditulis long term, yes, this is non-current liability. As for the current liability, dia juga payable, dia ada juga not payable, tapi long short term ya. Deferred income. Deferred income, this is a revenue ya, macam sales. Kita macam mana dia jadi deferred income? Ataupun kita panggil unearned revenue. Another word for deferred income is unearned revenue. Deferred means sebabnya ya, the customer already paid for the money for that goods or services, but goods and services dia kita tak transfer lagi pada customer. Means that the company is owing goods and services to the customer. So we call that deferred income. Bukan income duit dia dapat. Duit dah dapat tapi dia hutang dari segi service dan good. Dia kena bagi balik. Accrued expenses, minat macam saya cakap ya, expenses dah berlaku. Ya, maksudnya kita dah pakai BRP baik tapi bill dapat bulan depan. So this become payable ya. So this accrued expenses is a current liability ya. So this one you will learn more in the tajuk accrual and prepayment nanti ya. Adjustment at the end of a accounting period. So now we go in detail item. Okay, untuk Ini masih lagi statement of financial position kan? Okay, what is inventory? Inventory, the type inventory held by business will depend on the type of business. So kita tak boleh kata whatever inventory atau apa-apa barang yang ada dalam company itu is inventory. It depend on the type of business. Contohnya, business kereta, jual kereta kan. So the inventory is car. Kalau yang jual komputer, dia punya inventory adalah kereta. As for the yang jual kereta, komputer dalam dia punya syarikat kita panggil apa?
Alatan pejabat.
Yes, that one is office equipment. Ya, kita tak boleh kata dia inventory. Sebab tujuan dia beli bukan untuk dia jual semula, untuk guna. So that one is falls under office equipment. Ya. So manufacturing, dia punya inventory dia sebab manufacturer ni dia ada banyak inventory. Satu raw material yang belum proses. Satu bila dia proses tak siap lagi. We call work in process and finished good. Finished goods apa yang dah siap tu lah. Kalau service industry, service dia, dia punya inventory dia lah. Apa kerja dia lah. Sebab kerja dia yang mendatangkan duit ya. Okay, lagi satu receivable. Receivable is a general term for person or entity which owe the entity money. Maksudnya yang berhutang kepada company. We call that receivable. This is a asset ya. Yang mana menyebabkan company dapat duit, that one is asset. Okay. Prepayment, this is prepayment for the expenses ya. Macam saya kata deposit beli barang, that one is asset ya. We call that prepayment. Dia bayar dulu tapi service ataupun goods dia akan dapat kemudian ya. This is prepayment. Prepayment is an asset ya untuk expenses. Tapi prepayment bagi revenue, prepayment bagi expenses dia jadi asset sebab expenses tu dia bayar dulu. Ya. Jadi maksudnya ada hutang ya. Pihak ketiga itu hutang dari segi perkhidmatan, kalau bil elektrik perkhidmatan elektrik. Jadi dia jadi prepayment bagi expenses prepayment yang kita bayar dulu untuk expenses become assets. Tapi bagi revenue, ya revenue maksudnya kalau customer bayar dulu duit kepada company, maksudnya company hutang kepada customer itu in term of the goods and services. This is become liability. Okay. So this one.
Madam nak tanya boleh?
Yeah.
What the difference between prepaid expenses tu dengan prepayments tu?
Sama saja.
Oh sama je.
Memang ni dia punya term, tapi kalau kita more on specific, dia ada dua. Prepayment untuk expenses, prepayment untuk revenue. Prepayment untuk expenses kita panggil prepaid lah. Prepaid expense. Contoh prepaid expense, utility expenses lah. Prepaid expense macam kita bayar dulu untuk bil api kan. Kita panggil utility prepaid expense, prepaid utility expenses. Itu lebih spesifik. Macam ni dia umum. Faham tak? Ini umum.
Faham. Thank you madam.
Okay. Kalau revenue kita akan panggil kalau revenue kita prepaid revenue kita tak sebut prepaid revenue ya. Kita sebut deferred income. Itu adalah prepayment lah. Dia jatuh bawah prepayment ataupun unearned revenue. Dia jadi liability. Kalau expenses dia akan jadi asset. Okay. Satu lagi accrual ya. Kalau accrual maksudnya kalau expenses tak bayar lagi, dia akan jadi accrued ataupun payable. Ya, perkataan dia nanti ada perkataan kalau accrued di depan, kalau payable di belakang. Bagi expenses dia akan jadi liability sebab hutang company hutang dari segi duit. Bagi untuk revenue bagi revenue dia bukan dia yang bayar ya. Yang tadi company prepayment tadi company bayar untuk expenses ya. Kalau yang accrued bagi revenue, dia jadi receivable. Sebab apa? Accrued bukan pada company sudah bagi services, company already give the services, ataupun dia telah bagi barang tapi dia punya customer hutang. Semua accrued. This is a customer yang accrued. This is become receivable. Bila receivable, revenue accrual bagi revenue dia jadi asset. Ini nanti akan belajar later. Tapi kena tahu juga general sebab kadang-kadang dia keluar dalam bahagian teori part Saya terang dulu. This is accrued Accrued expenses tadi accrual kan, tadi prepayment. Accrued ni pun dia akan jatuh pada dua juga. Satu pada expenses, satu pada revenue. Accrued expenses amount which has not been invoiced ataupun tak bayar lagi to the business at the end of reporting period. So this one become accrued expenses. Ini umum Kalau dia ada spesifik, contoh accrued utility expense. Maksudnya kita tahu itu sebab bayar utilities. Kalau kita nak guna perkataan accrued, kita guna perkataan payable. Utility payable. Maksudnya bayar utility itu belum dibayar, berhutang. Ini bagi expenses. Kalau revenue pula, yang tak bayar tu adalah customer. Jadi accrued pada customer. Kita dah bagi business, kita dah bagi services ataupun kita dah hantar barang and then kita bagi invoice kepada customer. So customer hutang. So yang accrued tu adalah customer. So this one become receivable. Sebab apa? Company akan dapat duit. So bila receivable for revenue, it become asset. Dia akan jatuh bawah current asset. Kalau expenses accrued dia letak bawah current liability. Kalau prepayment pula, kalau expenses dia jadi asset letak bawah current asset. Kalau prepayment bagi revenue kita tak panggil prepayment, kita panggil deferred income ataupun annual revenue dia letak menjadi liability. Ni semua kena remember. And then equity, what is equity? Okay, yang pertama capital, yang kedua equity. Capital ni apa yang company invest pada entity, pada business apa yang owner invest, itu adalah capital. Tapi bila the run of the business, this capital is being used to buy assets and then dia boleh menyebabkan liability So what is equity is the residual interest in business. It represent when what is left when the business is worn out. All the assets sold and the outstanding liability paid. Means that equity is apa juga balance selepas asset yang ada company dia bayar kepada liability. That one is equity So what we can say that equity is di segi matematik dia adalah assets minus liability. So this is asset, initial equation, asset sama dengan equity plus liability. So bila equity, you just do some mathematical operation, so assets minus liability. So we can say that equity is the residual interest selepas asset kita bayar kepada liability. So in mathematics, equity equals assets liability atau nama lain adalah net asset. Bila jumpa je perkataan net asset, this is equity. Okay, clear tak?
Madam,
Yeah.
yang pasal capital tu bukan equity
Yes, bukan capital, bukan equity. Capital ni apa yang dia invest. Equity ni apa yang telah dijalankan. Bila bisnes jalan, mesti kita tengok apa yang last sekali. Dia lepas aset tolak dengan liability, itulah equity. Dia punya apa yang tertinggal.
Okay madam, thank you.
Okay. Ini hati-hati sebab nanti bila jawab teori ada ramai yang mess up dengan ni. Okay, drawing. Drawing ni as tadi saya cakap, I told you about the legal dari segi legal untuk partnership dengan sole trader, dia tak ada legal entity dia kan, maksudnya separate legal entity tak ada, maksudnya legal satu. Tapi untuk accounting, owner tak kira lah apa juga entity dia, owner dengan business dikira dua badan yang berbeza ya. Jadi whatever they record mesti untuk business dia record apa juga berkaitan dengan transaction of the company. Maksudnya yang personal tak boleh masuk dalam company. Tak boleh campur aduk ya. And then if the owner dia dah invest for the company and then tiba-tiba dia nak guna pula barang dia, so cannot. Tak boleh biar macam tu ya. So we must treat that the amount been taken by the owner, that what is drawing. So drawing ni kita kena tolak daripada capital yang dia dah dia invest tu ya. Maksudnya capital atau equity dia akan kurang lah because of this drawing. Okay, clear? Okay, now
Clear, madam.
okay. Untuk statement of profit and loss, this ada comprehensive account ni akan belajar later. This is revaluation of the property ya. This is unrealized profit. This is you will learn next sem. So what you are going to focus is statement of profit and loss. Ini nanti saya terang ni. Saya akan terang yang ni dekat sini. This one. Yang pertama dia punya format dia ya. So atas ni mesti ada company name. This is and then what is the statement. Okay. The word here, statement of profit and loss, ingat ni for the year ended. Tadi untuk statement of financial position as at, maksudnya pada tarikh itu. And this one is for the year ended. Maksudnya dia punya statement ini for that year ya, maksudnya ikut accounting cycle tu untuk 1 tahun tu. Dia menerangkan ya kedudukan revenue dengan expenses pada selama 1 tahun. This is dia punya format. Start with revenue ya. So revenue dia ada contra account dia ya. Contra account dia adalah sale return ataupun return inward. Kita panggil return inward. So nanti revenue tolak saja yang tu letak terus figure ni. Tak payahlah tunjuk revenue minus return inward, tak payah. Dia letak mana dah tolak kat sini ya. And untuk discount allowed ataupun sales discount untuk accounting standard yang terkini ya, according to International Accounting Standard 15 dah tak ada lagi ya, tak ada account tu, just kita buat note dalam sale day book ya, ada note saja kat situ ya, tapi di segi account dah tak ada dah ya. Kemudian dari revenue kita akan dapatkan gross profit. This is gross profit. How to get gross profit? Revenue minus cost of sale. So how to get the cost of sale? So cost of sales come from this one ya. Cost of sales adalah the cost of goods actually sold. Maksudnya cost yang berkaitan barang-barang being sold ya. Maksudnya whatever remaining goods yang tak jual lagi itu kita pakai closing inventory. So it means that cost of goods sold adalah sama dengan the cost of goods available for sale during the period less closing inventory. So how to get the cost of goods available for sale during the period? Tengok kat sini. The cost of goods available for sale during the period. Inilah dia. Opening inventory plus purchases. Purchases ni bila kita buat purchases kita ada cost-cost that related with the purchases. For example, bila kita beli barang kita kena charge a delivering cost, purchase delivering kan. So dia once kita add dekat sini lah, ataupun insurance on purchase kita kena tambah dekat sini ya. That's why we call that cost related to purchases. Custom duty ataupun stamp apa custom duty ya, apa dia tak ingatlah saya nak custom duty yang kena charge ya. Boleh ya? Tak keluar pula perkataan ni. Custom duty, insurance on purchases ya, inward delivery ya, cost ya. Masuk kat sini, tambah kat sini ya. Dia yang ni opening tambah purchases tambah dengan cost related of purchases. Kalau ada return kita tolak ya, purchases return. That one kita panggil cost available for sale during the period. And then bila kita tolak dengan closing inventory dia jadi cost of sale ya. Boleh dapat yang kat sini ya. Nanti kita akan buat calculation for this one. So revenue minus cost of sale, kita dapat gross profit. Andainya if the company has other income rather than doing trading, for example, at the same time the company is renting for the space, the building space, so dia akan dapat other income from that. So kita letak kat sini we call that rent income, kita tambah kat sini. Ataupun the company get the interest from the bank, so we just put it here. And then lepas tambah ni, if the company has other expenses related with distribution cost, contohnya transportation cost ataupun dia bayar kepada sales, sale dekat sini administrative expenses, promotion cost kita letak bawah sini and then finance cost, ini kalau dia buat pinjaman, so dia kena bayar interest, so letak kat sini. So all the expenses are up together and you add together, letak kat sini. So this one tambah ni, tolak ni, so last kali you dapat net profit or net loss. Okay, clear that about the statement?
Clear, madam.
So this statement is showing the revenue and expenses, mean the income generated during the year. So whatever account for this statement, account for revenue, contoh account revenue adalah sales. Apa lagi? Rent income, interest income. Apa kata income last tu itu namanya revenue Kalau expenses, salary expenses, supplies expense, depreciation expenses. Yang mana ada expenses tu? Itu ada expenses So account ni kita panggil adalah nominal account ataupun temporary account. Kenapa this one is temporary account? Because whatever balance for this account, bila tutup account kita dah kira loss, so dia punya balance habis dekat situ semua dah transfer pada profit and loss account. So untuk beginning of next year, kita akan mulai dengan zero. So this is what we call, this is temporary account. Setiap tahun dia akan figure baru. Okay, clear this one? Okay, 348. Okay, this is a revenue, example sale, revenue, income derived from the main business activity for the period. This is the definition. Kadang-kadang soalan keluar dalam teori kena faham income is derived from the main business activity main business. Kalau ada business jual kereta, sale is the revenue dia. Income is increase in asset, this is income pula. Income is increase in asset or decrease in liability that result in increase in equity other than those related to contribution from holder of the equity claim So what is the meaning of income? Okay, dengan kata lain income ni apa yang lebihan dia dapat Contohnya kalau dia sales kalau sale, dari sale kita ada bahagian portion dia yang kat sini portion ada portion bahagian cost, satu lagi markup yang markup tu lah income tu. Sebab income yang markup ni kita dapat sebab kita tolak cost kan. Ini yang akan meningkatkan equity. Ini akan meningkatkan equity. Other than those related to contribution from holder of equity claim, this is the capital introduced here. Capital introduced maksud investment, maksudnya owner dia tambah lagi investment, itu kita bukan kira income, itu sebagai capital income apa yang lebihan daripada assets dan liability. Expenses are the cost running the business for the same period. Pada tahun tu maksudnya bila dia jalan bisnes dia kena bayar bil trade, bil api, bil air, insurans, bayar pada pekerja, syariah, that one expenses So what is the expenses according to, this is according to accounting standard standard. Ini a definition given by the standard Ini pun definition given by the standard. Decrease in asset or increase in liability. Sama juga income ni pula dia increase in asset, decrease in liability. Bagi expenses dia decrease in asset, increase in liability, that the result or decrease in equity. Ini menyebabkan equity berkurang sebab kita kena bayar other than those related to distribution to holder of equity claim, yeah. So related to distribution to holder equity claim is dividend, yeah. Meaning that dividend is not an expenses, yeah. A dividend is the appropriation of the profit to the shareholder. This is what you are going to learn next semester, yeah. So remember, dividend is not an expenses, yeah. So gross profit adalah kalau daripada selling price adalah yang markup tu adalah gross profit lah. Maksudnya kita tolak sales kita tolak dengan gross, dia punya cost of good purchase, that one is the gross profit atau markup tu adalah gross profit lah. Okay, gross profit selepas kita tolak dengan other expenses, tadi saya dah tunjuk dalam statement tadi. So kita akan dapat net profit. Ini apa yang diceritakan daripada statement. Okay. So 352. This is expenses. Expenses kita boleh kategorikan kepada selling, distribution, administration. Kalau selling berkaitan dengan selling lah. Salary to sales management, sales staff, salaries and commission of sales staff, travelling, entertainment expense of sales staff, marketing costs, advertising, sales promotion. Kalau distribution, cost of getting goods to customer, maksudnya bila kita hantar barang, kita kena bayar pengantaran, such as cost of running and maintaining delivery vans. Okay, kalau van tu kita guna untuk pengantaran barang-barang. Also maintaining dia macam repairs of the vehicle, that will become the distribution cost. Administration, the expenses of providing management and administration for the business, for example, rent. Ni kena bayar rent. Ni bukan rent ni. Rates. Local tax, insurance, telephone, postage and stationery. Ni berkaitan administration. So finance cost is related borrowing, interest incurred for the year. This is related of the expenses. So expenses dia kategori pada yang ni. Tadi saya cakap 6 kali accept pun dia kategori juga kan. Sama juga sebab kita tak boleh buat semua account nanti ledger nanti penuh sangat Jadi ledger ni dia ambil kategorikan dia punya account ni sebab nanti bila ada presentation of the financial statement kita tak adalah panjang berjela. Kita nak brief saja. Okay, so 353. So I think I better stop here. So saya nak chat. Okay, ada lagi ke? Ada yang dah lari tinggalkan saya seseorang?
Masih ada, masih ada.
Kerja lagi ada.
Ada Iklimah dia buka video lain tu semua tak sudi dengan saya. Hari ni baru buka. Umar baru buka buka kamera buka kejap saya nak tengok sikit anak murid saya ni dah lah duduk jauh.
Esok boleh tak madam?
Apa dia?
Besok lah madam. Tak tudung.
Kan? Takkan tudung. Jadi lagging. Oh kenapa Faiz? Internet tak okey ya? Tak apa buka sekejap je, saya nak tengok sekejap je. Saya tengok anak murid saya sekejap semua ada Elisa. Okay Elisa, macam mana boleh lost?
Okay.
Kamu tertinggal?
Tak perasan pun ada group kat Telegram.
Punyalah penat je saya post. Dia tak baca. Okay okay saya dah tengok dah tak apa. Siapa yang lagging kalau dia dah tu, tak apa kalau nak tutup. Saya just nak tengok sekejap Saya nak pastikan anak murid saya ada. Okay, so for today we already covered for the first part of the context of financial reporting, which is what is the business entity, and the financial reporting we have 5 financial reporting. So for this semester we only cover for 2 statement of financial position and statement of financial position and statement of profit and loss, and then we go through the format that one for the statement. And then the user of the financial reporting so kita stop dulu sini. For tomorrow kita tomorrow kan kelas kamu? No. The second slot. The next class we will cover masih lagi financial statement. Kita akan prepare financial statement. Lepas prepare and then kita ada make calculation how to get the cost of goods sold ya. Ada soalan berkaitan dengan calculation juga Okay, ada apa-apa nak tanya sebelum saya tamatkan? Umar, ada apa nak tanya?
InsyaAllah tak ada, madam.
Tak ada. Sazia?
Tak ada, madam.
Tak ada. Arina?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. Afrina?
Tak ada.
Ilham? Okey Ilham. Petang-petang dengan ngantuk sikit kan?
Ngantuk sikit lah.
Saya pula laju. Saya dah cepat saya kena habis cepat sebab saya target. Saya nak ambil yang lama tu untuk tajuk double entry Sebab yang tu ramai lemah, terutama ada yang sains yang tak ada basic account Saya nak ambil situ yang lama sikit. Okay after this saya ada chat dekat sini, clear yes. Sorry Mada kalau saya tak buka kamera jadi lagging. Okay tak apa Faiz. Okay, so lepas ni saya akan bagi satu soalan. Saya tak sempat je nak jawab ni, jawab je lah dekat rumah. Nanti you send jawapannya. Nanti jawapan tu kita akan bincang esok Okay, saya akan masukkan dalam grup Telegram Kalau tak ada apa, saya tamatkan. Betul tak ada dah Aziz? Tak ada apa?
Tadi minum okey.
Tak ada. Kalau tak ada, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi next class.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Terima kasih, madam.
Ya.
Thank you, madam. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam Umar.
Thank you, madam.
Ya.
Thank you, madam.